Welcome everyone. Hey Jamie, welcome once again on our channel, this time live here from your studio. And this time we are not going to talk about God is an astronaut, but about something else. And I'm just giving you the floor, Jamie, to introduce yourself and what you are working now.
Thanks a million. I'm really happy to be back speaking with you. And I'm very happy to be releasing new music under my own name, Jamie Dean. Had a wonderful time over the last 10 or so years with God as an Astronaut. Had some incredible experiences with the band, experiences I'll always remember. And I've now moved on to a stage in my career where I'm writing music that I suppose is a little closer to my heart. And just like enjoying the creative process again. It's a bit of a step away from, God as an Astronaut, what I was doing, what I was, contributing compositionally with the band. But I'm really excited about it as well. It's like, it's a new chapter and things are very much starting from the ground and building it up. But I'm excited to be kind of in that building process, So, I'm excited to get stuck into this interview and thanks again for coming down to my place.
Yeah, no worries, and we are excited to talk more about your new project. And we have heard your new single, "Strangers," which was great. And the rest, when is the rest coming? And what can we expect from your new music?
Yeah, thanks a million. Yeah, the first one was a bit of it's a bit stressful because on account of how different it is to God as an Astronaut. But that was the intention. The intention wasn't to just like kind of come away and put out solo stuff. That was just an album of instrumental songs. I really am passionate and excited about this genre that I've sort of found myself in. I wrote for like a year and a half, and I wrote as many songs as I could. Some of them I was really happy with, and some of them I went back to and listened to, and they were awful. But I think that's kind of what it takes to shortlist songs that you're really, really happy with. You kind of have to write
how many songs were shortlisted?
Oh Jesus, about 15, 20 I'd say, like ones that I thought I was happy with, and I thought I had like more than an album there, and then I went back to them and I listened to them, and I'm really lucky to have a great management that I'm working with as well. Bad Apple, Zach and Gary from the management company Bad Apple, they've been advising me and really helping me along the right direction as well. But now I'm really only I'd say 6 tracks I have now that are finished and fully produced that I'm really happy with. The intention initially was to put out an album, but I think now the approach I'm going to take is every kind of like 6 to 8 weeks I'm going to put out a single. So I have 6 finished tracks, including Strangers, so 5 more to go.
Nice. Keep an eye on it.
Yeah, the next one is I haven't scheduled it for release yet. It's called Deciduary. And it is coming out. I want it hopefully to be out in May, the end of May.
Nice.
And then there's another 4 after that. And at that point, we'll see where we go. This is very much a situation where I'm like building it up from the start. So I don't want to get ahead of myself by putting out an album. There's not an audience there yet for me to release an album.
Yeah, like we interviewed similar artists being in this position. When you start from scratch, you start most of the times with scratch from the audience. So it's definitely finding, and with songs as well, like you grow professionally. So some songs that were relevant or great, then if you look again, some scrapped, indeed. And what I noticed in Strangers, you sing for the very first time. So I'm wondering what's the drive, and it's quite different than you did with God is an Astronaut.
Yeah, well, it might sound like it's the very first time I've ever sung, but I've been singing like all my life really. I used to play in like pop punk bands when I was a kid.
Which ones? Something we know?
I had a band. I mean, like, this is long before God as an Astronaut. I was more kind of like school bands. I had a band called Terrible Beauty. but it was very kind of like emo pop rock stuff, you know. So it's nice to be able to circle back to that kind of years later, because there's definitely like an emo rock kind of style in the stuff that I'm doing at the moment. But no, I have been singing for a long time, and I'm working with some like incredible artists at the moment. I'm working with a very, very popular Irish artist called Gavin James, and I'm doing backing vocals for him. So I've been working with him closely for the last kind of year and a half now, almost 2 years. And throughout the process of kind of like working with him and you know, singing harmonies with him, I've really kind of I've just honed in the kind of the craft of singing, try to pay a little bit more attention to it, because it's, you know, for 10 plus years with God as an astronaut, I never had to worry about it, which was one of the great things. But yeah, I'm passionate about it, and I think it's a great way to express yourself. And because you open up, like when you open up lyrics into your music, you know, you can say so much. I mean, one of the beautiful things about God as an astronaut and just instrumental music in general, and I've always said it, is that you write a good melody and you can move people. You don't really need words, and you can really move people with a beautiful melody. I think God as an astronaut are a phenomenal example of a band who do that really, really well. But now you also add lyrics into it as well, when you can be a bit more specific about the subject matter, and you write a beautiful vocal melody. And you kind of have the added bonus of being very specific with the subject matter, and also writing like a beautiful melody that hits you inside. I'm really excited about that, because it's the first time in my career where I'm exploring that terrain, you know, that unfamiliar terrain. So I'm kind of having fun at the moment, just working out my sound. And yeah, it's different, and it's not different, if you know what I mean. Like, as I said, I've been singing for a long time. It's just the first time I've ever released lyrics. You know, one of my best buddies, Evan Kennedy, who's also a phenomenal artist.
I remember him from
he was at the last God as an Astronaut show. Yeah, so we're writing a lot of music together now. He's doing his own thing as well, and he's a phenomenal lyricist. I've taken a lot from him and looking at his technique.
So what tip can you give for anyone wanting to be
anybody writing lyrics? I'm definitely not in the position to be advising people on writing lyrics at the moment in my career anyway, but what Evan would probably tell you is to, you know, he's a great guy to bounce ideas off. You know, he's so dedicated to it. Like he'll dedicate 3-4 hours a week just like reading books and taking ideas and like being inspired by stories and certain words even that like jump out. And it's a really good way of finding new subject matter, because for me anyway, when I sit down to write a piece of music, and if I'm singing about something, it generally tends to be from my perspective, you know, an experience that I'm having that might have been difficult or challenging or whatever, and I'm trying to put that into music. By deriving your subject matter from books, you're kind of like externalizing your lyrics. You know what I mean? They're no longer about you. It might be about a situation or like something totally random. So that's a new thing that I'm trying. But yeah, I'm trying to focus on. I don't want to be Bob Dylan in terms of writing these like or Leonard Cohen writing these like profound lyrics. But I definitely want to tell some sort of story, you know. And I'm really, really proud of the music that I've written over the last year and a half. I really, really am. I hope it does well, but where I am at the moment is trying to like create a new sound, or a sound that is becoming my identity, say, and within that sound, write stuff that I'm happy with, that I'm pleased with. Because when you release music, it's there forever, so you have to be happy with it, you know. It's unfortunate that we're living in this age where numbers essentially mean everything. You know, you look at an artist and the first thing you look at is what their monthly play count is, and that's just the way of the world at the moment.
Yeah, it is. But on the other side, they can easily discover you on Instagram. So
there's a trade-off for sure. It's not all bad. I mean, look, I'm happy to be in a position where you can put together a piece of music. You can just edit an Ableton here, and you can throw it out. You know, it's amazing that you can work that quickly, and then, you know, everybody in the world has access to your music. It's an incredible time to be living in creatively. But the problem with that is obviously there's so much other great music on the market, so there's a lot of competition. So I suppose you just have to just do the best you can and hope for the best, you know.
Definitely. And just to recap, to focus, so it gives an extra emotional layers, and it is all about us also externalizing, in short, in summary, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Great. Yeah. Let's do something random. What famous movie have you never seen that almost everyone else in the world has?
Okay, this is going to be really easy because I am so bad with movies. I've hardly seen anything. Never seen Schindler's List.
Me neither.
Never seen Dirty Dancing.
Me neither.
Never seen Pretty Woman. I have seen Fatal Attraction, which is the best movie of all time.
It doesn't say anything. I've seen Pretty Woman.
Have you? Yeah, Julia Roberts. I missed that whole, yeah.
And
what? I also haven't seen... Oh, this is disgraceful, and I think this is really embarrassing to admit. I've never seen Predator 1.
I haven't seen it either.
Have you not? Thank God.
I think it's time to watch it.
But not seeing Predator 1 is unacceptable. I don't think... She's shaking her head. It is unacceptable, I know.
The viewers will judge.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to be honest.
So, but you've seen Pro Intention?
Yeah, oh, listen, don't talk to me about Cruel Intentions. Sarah Michelle Gellar, I was obsessed with. Still am. When I was
Great
young.
actress.
She's phenomenal. Buffy the Vampire Slayer was a good buzz.
And you've seen Twilight?
I actually have. I used to work in a cinema in a place called Dundrum. And this is so embarrassing to admit, but I'm in it now, I may as well. I went to see every single Twilight movie by myself in the cinema. For free, because I worked there, so I got free tickets. That's the kind of...
I ran away from the first one. I just didn't understand the hype. So...
Yeah, I watched it, for some reason it was on recently, and I kind of watched it. It was terrible. It was terrible, but in
50 Shades of Grey?
I think your man Jamie Dornan is phenomenal, but I haven't seen it. I don't think I've seen it. I think I've seen one of them maybe, but yeah, it's not really my thing.
It's not my thing, it's... horrible, the movie.
Shiny vampires are more my thing, okay? Not like attractive Northern Irish men whipping people.
Exactly.
That actually sounds great.
I never understood the movie, so let's go back to your music. So, we talked about Gavin, God is an Astronaut, so Gavin is much more pop, I would say, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
God is an Astronaut is much more ambient post-rock, and your music, what I heard, Mutalis, Alaska, it's much more electro.
Yeah.
But I would say in Strangers there's some more pop influences next to electro. Mm-hmm. So I'm wondering what is drawing you into this genre, and how do you feel connected to this, and it fits perfectly to explore your music and bring a message across?
It's a really good question, and I've thought about it a lot. Throughout the year and a half where I was writing and trying to develop a sound, I guess I just threw my life experience in terms of like 10 years with an instrumental band, and now like coming up to 2 years with a mainstream pop act. And I guess it's just like the combination of the two genres for me. You know, it's like it's still there are moments where it's still heavy and distorted and riff based, but there's obviously more conventional pop structure when it comes to the vocals. So yeah, I just think I'm doing what I know, and what I know is, you know, instrumental music and pop music, and I'm just trying to sort of combine the two and write something that's authentic.
I love the idea. I'm a huge fan of electronic, and it's super nice that you are exploring like something not heard yet or something different. It's super interesting.
Well, you know, I listen to so much hip hop, and like when I was a kid, I was listening to loads of emo music. And then everything in between that I've sort of picked up along the way. So I guess I'm just trying to, even though some of it might be a little bit embarrassing, like in terms of what I was listening to when I was younger, I'm still trying to take the good parts of that music, you know? Mm-hmm. And again, what I'm writing at the moment is basically just stuff that I like to listen to myself. And in terms of the electronics and pushing that forward, there's other artists that I'm working with, to name Evan Kennedy again, like who is just an absolute genius when it comes to implementing electronic elements to music, and I'm trying to kind of push that a little bit as well. So I'm trying to combine like my music is like mostly guitar actually, with some 808 like low end, which I think you know, you hear in a lot of hip hop music, but like big fat bass with kind of melodic guitars that I'm taking, say, from the God is an Astronaut days, and then trying to focus it all around and shape it all around the vocal, the lyrics, which are like I'm trying to make the central focus of the songs. So yeah, I'm in a feeling out phase, but as I said, like I am happy with what I've written so far.
It's definitely an interesting journey, and I saw already that you are rehearsing with Gavin, some members. So I'm wondering, will there be some gigs
of my stuff? Yeah. So I'll do. I'm going to be working with a phenomenal Irish drummer called Ronan. He's just unbelievable. He plays for Gav as well. He plays for another Irish artist called Ryan Sheridan. So we're going to go out as like a two-piece. It'll just be I'll do what I can live. It'll be predominantly guitar. I'll be depending on playback as well for certain things like low end bass. But for the more important melodies, I'll try do the primary melodies live and sing. And he's just a phenomenal drummer. So it'll kind of be like an electronic pop royal blood, you know.
And for the music you have made, because you are multi-instrumentalist, so what instrument did you play for your music?
What will I do live, you mean, or what did I do in the studio?
Offline, in the studio.
In the studio, I did it all myself. So I programmed all the drums. So nothing rhythmically on record will be live drumming. Sadly, that will all just be for when we take it out live. It'll be Ronan playing live drums. But yeah, I programmed all the drums myself. I played the bass and the guitar. There's actually no live piano. Is there any live piano on it?
That's a pity. I love the piano.
There is. There's one song, Smiley Ones, that has live piano. I mic this piano up actually. But the rest of it is all like I use a Prophet 6. I'm using a lot of synthesis. And just like a bunch of just weird samples and stuff like that, and then just programming it. And I recently moved from Pro Tools over to Ableton, which has been another like learning curve, like operating within a different DAW. I was using Pro Tools for years, and I kind of knew it inside out, and I was kind of...
It's always good to try new stuff.
Yeah, it took me a while to get kind of... I'm nowhere near where, like with Ableton, where I used to be with Pro Tools, but I just think for live and for the type of music that I'm creating now, it's the right DAW to be using. But that doesn't really matter at the end of the day. It's not really about what DAW you're using, it's about the music you're writing.
Great stuff, Jamie. We look forward to TP, to your live gigs, and basically more music. For the viewers, check Strangers out if you haven't, and keep an eye on all links of Jamie for new music. And yeah, thank you so much, Jamie, for inviting us here in your studio, telling more about your new music journey. So I'm giving towards and to give you an opportunity to share anything we didn't mention. And yeah.
Okay, well, thank you again for coming down. It's cool to come and thanks for trying to help me platform my new stuff. It is at the beginning, obviously, of the journey at the moment. I'm stepping away from what was a beautiful band, and I had great experiences with the band, and I'm starting from scratch now. If you want to check it out, do. If you don't, no problem. There's no pressure. But yeah, I'm just really excited to be starting this new journey, and you can find me on all the platforms like Instagram and whatever else. So yeah. Thanks for checking it out, and thanks for the interview.
No worries, and yeah, subscribe and check out Jamie's new stuff.